So good to be here talking about this. This has been a video that's taken me a while to get out.
Hey loves, welcome to the With Love Cole YouTube channel. Here I give guidance from the lived experience on wellness, lifestyle, esoterics, and so much more. I also have an apothecary, which I sell my sea moss gel, so feel free to check that out. And let's dive into the content.
What it is energetically today, but it's been kind of difficult to shoot this video, and it's not ironic because today's video is going to be about energy leaks. So hello, my name is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a wellness entrepreneur, an esoterics and human design reader, as well as a spiritualist. I'm also a motherhood vlogger. So if you're here, you've probably been interested in any of my previous videos or came across this video because you're interested in spirituality, or perhaps as a new mom drawn to my content so that you can get more well-being and mindfulness tips on motherhood. So let's jump right into this topic. So I was really moved to do a video on energy leaks because when I came across that information, or like just the definition of what an energy leak is, I realized I had so many energy leaks in my personal life, and it was what was draining my physical energy. Just to give a little background about me outside of like all the things I do, I'm a mom and I am now 14 going on 15 months postpartum. So going through birth, I had a traumatic birth, I had a near-death experience. It is something that I do plan on talking about eventually, but I had so many things come up in my life, as well as new ideas and things I wanted to create that I knew I needed to talk about first. And in that process, I'll be ready to talk about birth. But what that did for me was, one, it took my time. So of course, when you have a child, you realize you don't have the same amount of time you used to, but also recovering from birth is about like getting back to your physical vitality and strength, hopefully, or even surpassing that and becoming like optimal in your health. Because when you give birth, you realize like, oh, this is a major life change, but also for the physical body to give life, you don't realize how much change has to happen within your body. So anyway, I say all that to say, when I learned what an energy leak was, it became like mind-opening as to how I was really using my time, my energy, and like what I could do to regain that energy. So today's video is going to be about energy leaks and how to overcome them. And I hope you guys realize like so much in our life is our choice. And when we take our power back in that way and we realize that, we start to be more mindful and more intentional with what we do with our time, our energy, our resources, etc. And that's how we start to plug these energy leaks. So let's start with what an energy leak truly is.
So what are energy leaks? An energy leak is when we're expending energy in ways that cause an energetic deficit.
So I saw someone make a TikTok video about this, and it came across my feed, and I just was like, wow, I had that going on in my life. So let me talk about it. So I made a list of what some energy leaks are, and I'm going to talk about them. So if you see me looking at my phone, or I have my phone kind of in and out the video, it's because I like to take notes so that I can make these videos super succinct, also really comprehensive, and give my full experience of what it's like dealing with certain energies. And also, I feel like when we share, we are able to now give other people a way of feeling understood if it's something they've experienced before, or also understand a new way of experiencing life, or how someone else has experienced life. So here are some energy leaks that can appear in your life, and when we handle them, we actually can realize like our life can quantum leap. We can move forward at a really accelerated rate, or see major life changes that we never thought was possible. And it's these simple things that we can do to make that happen. So the first thing is decluttering. When you have clutter in your house, you literally have an energy leak because you now have items that you may not have time to take care of, but you have to maintain or you have to clean, and they're sitting in your house and not doing anything. Also, these items can be items from people that you are no longer connected with. It can be items that are also not being able to be used, as in they're broken or defective. So we really want to be, someone was staring through the window, so that was really uncomfortable. Okay, so it's really ironic that as I was sitting to make this video, I turned and looked, and someone who was walking by, they ended up like looking in, and I really get uncomfortable when people look in through my window. So that itself was an energy leak. Energy leaks can also be things that just distract us from our purpose or something that's just super important that we're trying to do. And what I noticed is that when you are trying to do something extremely positive in the world, these energy leaks tend to become more apparent. Like I said to you guys, I really wanted to sit and make this video, and I don't know, just seeing that these little distractions keep coming up is like even more of a reason why I want to get it done. But it's also just to show you a real-time example of how an energy leak looks and works. So here's another energy leak. When we have unnecessary items on our to-do list and we feel like they are making us stressed out, or we feel extremely overwhelmed because we have these things that we feel like we must do, that becomes an energy leak, because now instead of fully resting our minds, our bodies, it's almost like you're mentally continuing to ruminate and go on. And with that, you now are draining your energy from looking for solutions for your creative issues. And we know that when that happens, then we tend to fall into a cycle of depression. So when we have unnecessary items on our to-do list, whether it's things that we don't necessarily have to do and we can delegate it to someone, or if it's something that we do have to do but we're prolonging it, it then becomes an energy leak. So now let's jump into another energy leak, which is very closely related. Let's talk about procrastination. Procrastination is such a huge energy leak because it keeps us in the past instead of the present or looking towards the future. When you procrastinate, you actually are so worried about the past or the future that you're not in the present moment. You're either thinking, I can't get this done because of what happened in the past, or I can't get this done because of what I expected or want it to look like in the future. And the reality is, all we have is the present moment. I will say, going through a recent near-death experience when I went through birth, that was a huge awakening for me to realize, like, one, I only have the present moment, and two, I have to be really responsible with my energy because my time on earth is limited. Like, when you realize your mortality, you realize, like, okay, life is not as long as I thought it was, especially in relevance to all that I want to see accomplished in the world. So we really have to focus our time and energy, especially if you're a new mom and a new parent. You really want to utilize your energy towards, developing your child, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, which is pretty much like the membrane of society, and then going forth and being of service to others and helping others. So now I'm going to talk about another energy leak, and this one is more related to birth. So this is for my moms or even anyone who may be suffering from a root chakra imbalance. So birth will naturally change your root in the sense of your womb is expanding and then it is contracting over the period of like 1.5 to 2 years when you consider both birth and postpartum. So the reality is, you want to do the work to make sure your root chakra, which really is like the center of like your will and your safety, well, really your safety, but also with your safety being balanced, then we can focus on our will. So with that, with the root being the base of our bodies and a base energy center, we want to make sure that it's strong and that it's resilient and that it is like protected, right? So we protect our root by making sure that we keep away energy leaks. again, when you are physically leaking energy from your root center, for me, it was my pelvic floor needing to heal itself, and that, oh, and of course, not just the pelvic floor, but the whole womb area. That is still a journey and a process, and I'm happy to say that I'm closer to being optimal than not. But the reality is, it is an energy leak because you literally just released energy from that direction, and your body is now looking to like regain its energy. And while it's doing the process of like contracting the uterus, especially if you're a breastfeeding mom and bringing yourself back to center, you also may feel like below you just feels like open. I don't know how to describe it, but I definitely felt like I had a portal in my body, especially after giving birth. I felt like the bottom of me was open. And it was funny because I asked my partner about it, and he's like, you seem good down there. But the reality is, I knew how I felt, and I could just imagine if you're a woman who is going through pregnancy, postpartum, and still healing, like your root is in a very sensitive place. So it is very important to manage and be mindful of possible energy leaks, because this is also going to lead to you healing on an emotional level, on a mental level, from going through the process of birth and postpartum. And as you can see, energy leaks are spiritual. It's not just something that is physical. Yes, I'm talking about energy physically leaving your body, but we see that it's leaving your body, but also you're experiencing this on an emotional and mental level. And a lot of times it's these energy leaks in these other planes that you start seeing on a physical level. Here are some more energy leaks. Phone calls. Phone calls can be wonderful because they can be inspiring. They could be a great way to connect with friends and family, but they also can be a way that people can leave negative like taste in our mouth. Give us information that is uncomfortable to hear. It can make us stressed. It can make us anxious. Same thing with doom scrolling. So these are two additional energy leaks that I really want to bring up, because in this day and age, we use our phones all the time. It's really, really easy to get caught in a cycle of getting your dopamine from your phone, or just looking at things because you enjoy the way it makes you feel. But the reality is, we never lived in a world, like at least 20 years ago, we did not live in a world where we spent up to 12, 14 hours of screen time, like time on our phones. So to see that, that is happening now, I could only imagine what the statistics are going to look like in a few decades of what it is like being a human in this generation, and how we've used our phones and how it's affected our mental health. So I think it's really important to examine if that is an energy leak for you, and then create like proper guidelines for yourself on how you would like to use your phone, how you would like to connect with people, and also boundaries, creating boundaries that say, oh, this person's bringing up things I don't want to talk about, or this person likes to gossip and I don't really want to engage in that type of conversation. If those are energy leaks, and energy leaks are pretty much anything that affects you on a level that is affecting your ability to get things done, affecting your physical energy, affecting your mental health. So if you see that your time on the phone, or the people you're connected to, or even the places you are going is causing you to lose energy, really take a moment to reconsider, and then also take time to decide what you want your energy to be going towards and how you'd want to move forward with that. Now let's talk about another energy leak, decision fatigue. When you cannot make decisions, you are now doing the same thing, procrastinating and allowing things to ruminate. And as we know, entropy is a principle of life, so anything we create now creates more of itself. So a negative thought begets more negative thoughts. A messy house can create more things to clean. Again, we really want to be mindful of making quick decisions, being practical, knowing what we need in the moment, so that we can move forward and continue handling things. And this also keeps our mind clear. When our mind's clear, you would be surprised how much physical energy you have when your mind is mentally able to rest. Another energy leak is overconsumption. Overconsumption of food, alcohol, weed, anything that we do too much of is clearly taking our energy. And also I want to relate that with it's also probably taking up a lot of our time. So an energy leak could even be something that's positive, but if it's not one of your higher priorities on your list and you're prioritizing it, then it does become an energy leak. Excuse me. So if you're putting things higher on your priority list than it really needs to be, even if it is a positive task, then it becomes an energy leak if it's keeping you from doing more, I guess, big reward or like doing things that will give you greater successful outcomes and more towards your purpose in your life path. And here is a last energy leak. So I know that it's especially in this culture of showing everyone what we're doing, where we're going, and there is a desire to get validation online, but the reality is spending time showing people every single thing that you're doing behind the scenes can be an energy leak, especially if it's keeping you from your purpose of actually creating the content that you feel is impactful or can really change someone's life. So like, I would love sometimes to just like vlog my day and show you guys like, ooh, look what I'm doing here and there. But the reality is if I focus on being more grounded and centered and sitting and creating these videos, it's way more impactful than running around town and showing people that I do stuff all day. I think it's kind of like going from being like an ant or like a busybody to being more grounded and being like, I don't know, beavers, an animal that like takes time to build something. So my camera died, but well, the memory card is full. But I wanted to finish up this video saying that if you have an energy leak, look to fill it. There are tons of videos on YouTube about spiritual baths, about how to cleanse your energy. Again, like taking care of yourself is so important because we don't realize like how much we are energetic beings and how much our energy is affected not just by each other, but by what we see on the media, by our environments. All these things affect how we are, who we are, and how we show up in the world. So I love you guys. I hope to see you in the next video. And again, if you're interested in spirituality, human design, esoterics, I do new moon and full moon readings on this channel where I give like a little in-depth expression of what I feel is happening. It's kind of half intuitive, a mixture of astrology, human design, and all that good stuff. But what I really love to do is share with you guys my insights because I truly believe that we can really use YouTube and social media to connect our worlds, to show that there is a collective consciousness. I mean, quantum physics has proven this, but now we can show that not only do we have this collective consciousness, but we can then use it for the greater good of humanity, which is telling all our stories, transmuting the energy of pain and suffering that we've gone through as a species, and be able to evolve and grow, self-actualize as human beings, grow so that we can create the planet that we want to see and not the one we have now, because I get so discouraged when I see the news, which is another huge energy leak. But the reality is, like, if we want to change what we see and want to change these energy leaks, we have to start with ourselves and know how to maintain our energy, how to manage it, how to just like be happy and be content and live well. Because I feel like when we can start from a place of well-being, we can only create good from there. So love you guys. This was really long and chatty, but I'll see you in the next video. And also, like, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. This video, I just can't believe that like that happened. I think that person like threw my energy off, and maybe that was a way of like me showing up, because we take our power back when we do the thing despite being uncomfortable. We take our power back and our the power from the energy leak when we don't allow it to distract us, or when we learn how to transmute it right away. So that's the purpose of this video. I hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, if you're a mama and you love content like this, or you are someone who likes human design, esoterics, and astrology, I highly recommend checking out my Patreon, where I post more exclusive content, articles, findings, recipes, tons of lovely things for you guys. I'm kind of like curating my own space on the internet and information I've learned that I found super transformative, helpful, and useful. Well, and also my personal writings. This is kind of what I'm using my Patreon for. So if that's something that fascinates you or you find interesting, then please check out my Patreon or support this channel so I can create more wonderful videos like this. And yeah, I'll really see you guys in the next one now.
If you watched this whole video, let's stay in touch. Please comment below and subscribe, and also connect with me on all social channels.